What's up, everyone? Great morning for most of you. I know it's 6 a.m. I know a lot of you are still waking up. I know a lot of people couldn't come because it was just such short notice for me, because we just got back yesterday from Sarajevo, from Bosnia. We were special guest speakers there, and we had a situation like we always have, and I was prevented from sharing the value that I believe that I have to that I can give, and that's also a lesson for all of you. If you have something with you that you can write down, it would be great. As the thoughts come in, as some words come out of my mouth, and some great ideas that you can use, make sure you have a pen and pencil next to you so you can write it down. Because if you get a good idea, just one great idea that you can maybe implement right away today, or just a thought process that you will change today, this is going to be valuable. And this is something that I invite all of you also. I invite all of you to always share your ideas, especially inspiration. When you get those hunches, those intuitive leads, when you get inspiration, and when you get a great idea, act on it right away. But most importantly, also share it with people. Do not allow that idea to be unshared. You have to share it with people, because you never know, especially here being in a team environment, you never know who from the team is going to really make sure that idea manifested, that idea creates abundance for us all. But as I said, on Saturday, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I planned a call with you guys in the afternoon, but then things happen. Like always, things happen in life. We were flying above Sarajevo. It's the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and as we were flying around Sarajevo, the plane couldn't land because of the bad weather down. And so it took us back. It took us 20 minutes back, because it was only a 20-minute flight. It took us back to Beograd, which is the capital of Serbia. And there, as we landed, they told us, unfortunately, we won't be able to make the trip. And you have an option. You can wait until tomorrow, which is not an option for us, because we have to be we are guest speakers at an STS. Or you can leave now, and you can leave with the bus. And I'm thinking at that moment, if it's a 20-minute flight, it's probably 1, 2, 3 hours, from Beograd to Sarajevo on a bus, no problem. And we say yes, and then I hear that it's a 6+ hour bus ride. But it's not only a 6+ hour ride. It's a 6+ hour bus ride after being on 5 different plane rides, 5 different planes in the last 24 hours. Because we just came back from Sevilla the other day, from Spain, from Future President's Team Retreat. So now we have to, in the night, it's freezing. The bus driver is crazy, and the Bosnia and Herzegovina is all mountains. It's all mountains. It's small little roads that you really cannot see. You don't even know where you're going, and the bus driver is going like crazy. So 6+ hours of that, and then we came back. Of course, we drove there safely, or we arrived at our destination, and we had a great story. Because of that happened, we have a great story. And a lot of the times in business and in life, things happen. And the worst thing that we can do is we can start asking ourselves, why did this happen? How could this have happened differently? That's in the past. If things happen, they happen for a reason. And we as human beings, we have a tendency that we want to control everything. We have a goal. We have a goal in our business and in life, specifically here in Herbalife. We have a goal, and we know it's going to happen. If we believe it is going to be happening. But what we do is how we maybe even slow our progress, or in extreme situations, we even quit this business because of frustration, because of fear, because of anger, because of those bad feelings. And we create those feelings because as we go through this journey on our way to our goal, we get hung up on how it's going to be happening. We get up on exactly how. We have a certain plan that we set in motion. And I'm not saying the plans are not important. Plans are extremely important. But I'm just saying not to get hung up on the how too much, and not to get hung up on the details too much. If you have a goal, and if you visualize it in the morning, if you read it in the morning, and if you have a clear, specific goal in the marketing plan, how much money you're going to be earning, what level in the marketing plan you're going to be, what kind of person do you want to become and be, and what kind of team of people do you want to attract. And if you just focus on this, the end result, and then allow the inspiration to come every single day, and then act on those inspirations. Of course, there's got to be massive action involved. If you're not in massive action every single day towards your goals in Herbalife, this only means that you do not have clear goals. You do not have clear goals, or even worse, you have clear goals, but you're not focused on them every single day. You don't repeat them in the morning, and because you don't repeat them in the morning and you don't visualize them, none of those inspirations come in your mind, none of those ideas. You're not moved to action, and you barely do anything. You do something, let's call it barely enough to survive. And maybe on a job, you can still get paid by getting away with doing just enough. In business, where you're an entrepreneur, in Herbalife, where this is your business and you are completely responsible for everything that happens to you. You can have it all, but you can also have nothing. In this kind of environment, you just cannot, you cannot go by. You cannot allow yourself to do just enough. You have to do a lot. And especially in the beginning, before Get Team, before Mill Team, before, I would argue before Press Team, because we are on our road to Press Team. To materialize the President's Team, just doing enough, it's not enough. It's not enough. Just getting by. No, you always have to do massive amounts of action. The amount of action in one day where you're doing so much, you did so much that day, you talked to so many people, you got so many ideas that you're thinking, maybe I missed something. At the end of the day, you're like, maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't do enough. And in one day, in 24 hours, you will feel like you do not have enough hours in that one day. I'm talking about that kind of action. And that kind of action can only come from inspiration or desperation, But those kind of emotions and inspirations and movement to action can only come from your clear goals that you are sincerely interested in attaining. Not interested, but actually decided to attain. And when things happen on the journey, you have to let it go. You cannot get hung up on why this happened, on why this is not working, on why that person quit, on why that person said no, on why that person is not ready. Why did that person not come to the STS? Why did that person say yes and he said he's going to be my best guy and then he quit? Or even worse, he disappeared. Why did all this? You do not know. That's the mystery of the mind. That's the mystery of the universe. That's the mystery of human beings. But you have 100% responsibility and 100% choice to decide how you're going to react and how you're going to go forward. And if you only focus on the goals, on the end result, and allow the inspiration and the energy to come through you, that idea to move you to action, to start moving towards the goal every single day. It's every single day process. It's not once per month. It's not once per week. It's every single day that you have to do this. It's like a reset. Every single day, as you shower or as you do certain things, every single day, this is how you need to motivate and inspire yourself every single day. Because if you forget to do it one day, if you forget to read your goals one day, if you don't get inspired by yourself one day by your goals, if you don't motivate yourself one day by your goals, the second day, you maybe even be out. The second day, the third day, and then it becomes a habit of you never doing enough, of never inspiring yourself enough, of never motivating yourself enough to get moving towards action. And the people who are moving and the people who did next levels, they remember the times, and they remember exactly what they did and how they felt when they were creating and when they were going next level. They were excited out of their minds. They were enthusiastic. They were in massive action mode, and before the day started, they didn't even know what kind of action they're going to do that day. But they woke up, they focused on themselves, they read their goals, they got inspired, they got motivated, and then ideas started coming into their mind. And they started their day, and they didn't stop their day until they went to sleep. And they were constantly in action, constantly creating something, And this is something that I see a lot of people, they lose themselves in this. They forget to motivate themselves. They forget to stay on track, and they get hung up on the how, too much on the how. How is this going to be happen? I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to go to sleep tonight. I do not know, even though I have it planned, but I do not know for 1000% when I'm going to wake up in the morning tomorrow. I do not know, to be honest, if I'm going to be waking up tomorrow. Is it true? That's a different philosophy, but this could be the last day of our lives. It's not. But what if it is? What if we have that mentality? This is the day this is the only day that we have. The only day. We wake up in the morning and we have clear goals, and this is the only day. Because in truth, even though we're going to be living hundreds and hundreds of more years, we, in essence, really do not have tomorrow. And we do not know what's going to be happening tomorrow. We might think and allow ourselves to believe, which is naive, to think that we are going to know what's going to be happening tomorrow and exactly what kind of actions we're going to be doing and exactly the people that we're going to be contacting. We can get up and put a plan in motion and think to ourselves, I know exactly how it's going to be happening. But it never happens exactly like this. It never. You can look back on your life, on anything that you have achieved and anything that happened in your life, and you can know for certainty that it never happened exactly as you saw it in your mind or planned for it. Never. But if you had a goal, it always happened. But never like you wanted it. Like you wanted it. Because we have a tendency to want to control things. But that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. You have to go into the flow. You have to go into the zone. And then things start happening. When we stop being so hung up on how it's going to be happening, we stop clinging on the control, the trying to control, and we allow things to happen as we move to action every single day from the second we wake up through that day, and every single second, every single minute, every single hour, and then we keep going. And then we look back at one day in the evening before we go sleep, and we look at that day and we think to ourselves, I did so much. I talked to so many people. I have planned so much. I've got so many inspirations. I felt so good that I do not remember. That day was so long, back with so much activity towards my goals, that I do not really even remember when the day started and how it started. You don't remember how the day started because that one day seems like a week. This is when you're starting to move, and this is when you get inspired, and this is when you're enthusiastic, and this is when I know you are on your fastest way, on your fastest possible way to your goals. And a lot of people, they remember their days. I do not know how this is because I don't. To be honest, now it's 1:13 p.m. here. I do not remember what I did at 10 a.m. It's only 3 hours ago. This is how much activity I did in the last 3 hours. I do not know who I sent the message to. I do not know who I contacted. I do not know all of this because I can only know if I look. If I look on the cell phone or if I look at scroll down through the inboxes. This is how many people I talked to. This is how the amount of activity I did. It's unreal. And imagine when the day is ending. I'm gonna be literally. I will in this day. I will live the amount of life, and I will do the amount of activity for my goals and for my business. The amount of activity that an average person who has a job, that an average person probably does in 1 to 2 weeks. And this is called compressing time. Why do I do this? Because I do this for myself. I build this business for myself. But also, as I do it for myself, I do it for all of you. Because this business involves people. This business involves you going for your next levels. This business involves me giving you what I have, the energy, the emotions, the ideas, and then you paying it forward, doing the same thing. You building the business for yourself. Because that means you're going to be helping your guys go next level. And that means that you're going to be paying it forward and giving the ideas that you've got that worked, who you are and who you've become to other people. Just giving it forward, just paying it forward. And this is what happens when you're focused on the goals, not on how it's going to be happening. Because you're never going to know this. And stop clinging to it. Stop clinging to it. Wake up in the morning, focus on creating a good feeling, focus on getting clear on your goals, which you do have, but reading them again, visualizing them, getting yourself in the emotions as if it is already done, which it is in your head. And then 1 minute, 1 hour after 1 hour, 1 day per 1 day, day after day. This is how you go through life. This is how you go through this business. You cannot be thinking what's going to be happening tomorrow. You cannot be thinking what's going to be happening in a week. And especially you cannot be thinking what's going to be happening in 1 month. Because the amount of activity that's going to be happening and the things that are going to be happening in the next month, if their chances are that in the next month, you're probably going to be, you're going to live the amount of life and you will have the amount of activity in the next month that an average person who has a job probably goes through in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe some people even a year. And this all happens with enthusiasm. And if you're really excited about your goals, no matter where you are, I don't care about your circumstances. And your circumstances to be honest with you, and you have to also understand this, no matter your circumstances, if your circumstances now are fantastic, if your circumstances now are good, or if your circumstances are bad, or if your circumstances are horrific, it still doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, that's the outside world. The only thing that matters is your inside world. And your inside world, you have the power to create that every single day by focusing on your goals and on your future, but the future that you want. And by doing this, the outside circumstances never affect you. When they're fantastic, great, you're still going to be feeling fantastic. When the circumstances are good, you're still going to be feeling fantastic. When the circumstances are bad, you're still going to be feeling fantastic. When the circumstances are horrific, you're still going to be feeling fantastic because it's in you. Do not look outside. But if you focus on this and you repeat this process of feeling fantastic and feeling great every single day by focusing on your future and on your goals and create that feeling, then sooner or later, look, the outside world is going to become the representation of what you feel inside and what you are inside. You have to understand this, and you have to start. This is the purpose of the call, to give you value and to awaken something that you maybe if you think about rationally, you can say, oh, this makes sense. But it's not about, I'm not talking to your rational mind right now. I'm talking to that feeling that you're getting right now that's saying to you, this is the truth. Your inner being is singing to you and saying to you, just follow your dreams, follow your goals, go for it. Do not look on the outside. Do not look at what everyone else says. Do not look at where you are right now. It only matters where you're going to be. And you know exactly where you are already in your head. And if you do this, magical things are happening. And another thing that I'd like to touch base is something called a results gap. And results gap is also something that a lot of people in Herbalife and in life, in any business, unfortunately have metaphorically died. Results gap is results gap. So a results gap is something where, you know, you have an idea, you have a thought, you have something, especially here in Herbalife. Let's say you came in Herbalife and you saw an opportunity. You wanted to get team, you wanted a millionaire team, you wanted presidency, you wanted the life of your dreams, and you saw it clearly. You saw it clearly. But then what happened is that idea starts bubbling in your head with feeling. You start moving into action towards that goal. But we never know how it's going to be happening. And to be honest, we do not even know when it's going to be happening. The how and when are kind of blurry, always blurry. We never know exactly. We can project, we can think, we can hope, but we never know exactly when it's going to be happening. So there's a gap between an idea that's supercharged with your desire and your emotion, like it's already done, and action, your massive action in this process of actually materializing and getting to this point where that idea becomes visible to everyone in your physical world, right? It's already real for you here. It's already in your head. It's real here. But in order for other people to see, there needs to be a gap, an action gap, massive inspired action gap, to the point where all the other people will see it in your physical world. And they will say, unbelievable. But you knew it here. But it happened here. And that results gap can be small. Later on, it will be smaller and smaller as you become better and better at this, and as you start believing and believing more. But in the beginning, it's a little bit, especially in the beginning, when the belief is maybe you can tell me you believe, and I know you believe, but your belief is not where it should be, and it's not where it will be. And that's normal. This is why you got to be surrounded with a team. This is why you got to get on the calls. This is why you got to talk to your mentor on a daily basis. This is why you got to come to the STSs. This is why you got to come to the January kickoff. This is why you have to come to the LDW. This is why you have to come to Extravaganza. Because these events, they teach you, they give you hope, they give you confidence, and they give you belief that things are happening. As you believe more, the action becomes more efficient, more proficient, and the action becomes more massive. And you shorten the gap from the idea to actually materializing your idea. But let's say right now it's here. And here is an idea, here's the materialization. And in between is the graveyard of Herbalife distributors. It's called the graveyard of Herbalife distributors. Results gap. And that doesn't mean those are bad people. That doesn't mean those are not intelligent people. That doesn't mean that they're not worthy. That doesn't mean that they're not good enough. That doesn't mean they're not capable. That just means that they quit. That they quit in the process of. They quit. And they quit because they were frustrated, and because they had fear, and because they had doubts, which is also normal. But as you go through the process, your belief is going to get stronger. Fear, doubts, and all those emotions are normal. They're normal. And only thing you need to do is you need to continue that journey and work on every single day on becoming a little bit better, and every single day becoming a little bit better, and every single day working on your mindset, and every single day starting your day a little bit better, every single day focusing on your goals a little bit more. And you just have to continue the journey, because the results are here, the materialization is here, and you can shorten the distance. You can if you don't come to the events, you can maybe make it come here. But it's still here. As long as you are in the process, you already have those goals. It's just a matter of when. It's only a matter of when. Sooner or later, but sooner than later, you will achieve that goal. Just do not disqualify yourself. People disqualify them. And you know why they disqualify themselves? Because in this process of materialization, they get so frustrated and so fearful and so doubtful. Do you know why? Because they're always thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And it's an every day, every weekly, every month, it's an agony going through the process, thinking about how it's going to be happening in the next week, how it's going to be happening in the next 90 days, how it's going to be happening in the next year. You do not know, and you will never know. So stop worrying about it. Stop being fearful about thinking how it's going to be happening. Stop having doubts about how it's going to be happening and when it's going to be happening. And just learn to embrace the process. And wherever you are, be there now. Wake up in the morning, read your goals, get clear, put yourself in a good emotional state. Stay there as long as possible and go into massive action mode inspired by your goals. This is how you do it. And your goals are there. They're there. They're done. You just need some time for all of us to actually see what's already in your head. And I'd like also to touch base on something that, a lot of people, when they're not getting something or it's not happening fast enough, they start thinking, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of it now. You are worthy of all of it right now. You need to stop. You need to shut down that voice that's telling you you're not worthy. That is the biggest lie in the history of the universe. You are worthy. And you need to put yourself that in your mindset. It's not that things are not happening because you are not worthy. Right now, everything is happening, but you're slowing it down because you're thinking it's not happening. When in essence, everything is happening. And why get fixated on when it's going to be happening? And how it's going to be happening? Because you know from previous experiences that before, when you achieved something, it never happened like you wanted to. Never. It happened way better. It happened way better, but you also allowed it. You allowed it to happen better because at that moment maybe you weren't so fixated. You weren't so fixated on how it's going to be happening. And this is why the morning is so essential. And you heard me talking in some of my videos. You heard me talking about the importance of, and I know all of you are doing it. We can just always think about upgrading. I'm always thinking about upgrading your morning routine. I see Deontay walking on a treadmill, and this is and one of the best ways to start your day. Physical activity. It can be stretching. It can be yoga. It can be walking with your dog. It can be running. It can be walking on a treadmill. You can just get active. Just wake up your mind, wake up your body, and listen. Ideally in the morning as you're getting active, it doesn't have to be rigorous activity. Just an activity to wake up and get those good endorphins going, get good emotions, and put something in your ear or listen to something motivation. Listen to Jim Rohn, Mark Hughes. Listen to something that inspires you. Right now in the morning you're listening to this. It's gonna help you jumpstart your day. This day is going to be at least twice better. Just because you got on this call and listened to this information and it inspired you, it changed your thoughts, it evolved your process. You got an upgrade just for today. For this day, you've got an upgrade, a small upgrade in your mindset. And guess what? You can work on that mindset and on upgrading that mindset today also. If you get in unbelievable conversation with your mentor, if you so, excuse me, if you get listen to a motivational video, if you talk to one more person, tomorrow you can do the same thing. And every single day you can work on upgrading your programs, because it is a program. Let's be honest. It's a success or a failure program. And as soon as you got into Herbalife, you got rid of the failure one, or actually a lot of us are still fighting with it. And you started upgrading the success one. You started ignoring the failure one, and you started upgrading the success one. Because to be honest, it's all about programming your subconscious beliefs that a lot of the times you're not aware of them rationally. You're not aware of them. They're just being executed through your actions. If you're just getting by, but just by doing enough and not going the extra mile, this is a program. You were programmed to do just as much as you should. And this is a recipe for failure in business, in recipe for failure in entrepreneurship. You need to install a program called always going the extra mile. This is a program. You need to replace this one and replace it with the program always going the extra mile. Self-discipline. This is a program. You need to install this. A lot of people, they don't have self-discipline, because self-discipline is not easy to attain. But the ones who work on it every single day, and falling down is actually not only allowed, it's mandatory in order for you to get up, and to install the programs that you want. Self-discipline. Falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up, getting a little bit better every single day. Self-discipline. Abundance mindset. Financial independence mindset. I'm rich mindset. Opposed to there's not enough money. I have to work hard for my money. Or, I don't think I'm worthy. I'm ever going to be rich. Those are the programs. But you're working on financial independence. I'm being rich. I'm living the life of your dreams. And as soon as you start right now, what we're doing is you're always, every single day, it's a process to install programs that are going to on autopilot that are going to lead you to success. Because during your days, 90% of your days, I don't even know if you even realize this, but 90% of your days is going on autopilot. You're going through your days automatically. Because if you would have to think about all the processes, if you would have to think about tying your shoe, if you had to think about making your shake, if you would have to think about eating, chewing, swallowing, if you would have to think about all of these processes, you would probably not wake up. So habits and routines are great. You need them in order to be as efficient as possible. But we have to be aware that those routines and those habits are programs that we want installed, that are leading us towards our goal and not sabotaging us. You need to become mindful of those. Do you have limiting beliefs about money? Do you believe you're not worthy? Do you believe that you're not going to achieve the next level? What do you believe? And you have to also, optimism is great, but to go to the point to reach your goals, you have to go through. I'm gonna use the S word right now. You have to go through shit. You have to go through shit of your mind to get to your goals. It doesn't go on your way to your goals. You cannot just expect things to happen magically and for you to be optimistic throughout your days and just everything is great. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, everything is great. No. Because if that was the case, you would already have everything that you want and you would already be the person that you were meant to be. But you're not there yet. So you have to go through those BS programs, to those dark corners of your mind. You have to go through it. You have to live through it. You have to acknowledge them. You have to acknowledge that they exist. And as soon as you acknowledge that they exist, as soon as you know what's limiting you, that's already halfway. You're already halfway to solving them. And as you start, as you start solving them and start putting in new programs, which you already are, you're gonna be accelerating your path to greatness, your path to next level. Because getting to next level in Herbalife, the mechanics of the business is so easy. Trust me, everyone can do it. It's so simple. It's literally simple, fun, magical. But what is hard, and I have to tell you this, what's hard is your change, is the process of your change, is removing those limiting beliefs, is acknowledging those limiting beliefs and installing new beliefs, new habits and new routines that are supporting you on your way to your goals. This is a hard process, and people do not even understand this. They do not understand that they're governed, that their lives are controlled by their subconscious and by the programs that they have installed. It is the truth. And this is why we always say in Herbalife, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This is your biggest job today. But this is something that you invest in the morning. This is something that you invest when you talk to your mentor, when you're going through situations with people. This is what you go through. But in order for you to develop and to go to those situations and install new programs, you have to be in massive inspired action, massive action, massive action. And this massive action can only happen if you have clear goals, if you read them in the morning, if you focus on them in the morning and allow yourself to act, to be in as much action as possible. And then you're going to start seeing what those limits are, and then you're going to start seeing those areas where you can improve. And talking to your mentor and being on calls like this and going to the STS and going to LDW, extravaganza, genuine kickoff, that's important, where you are learning, when first and foremost, you are surrounded by success. You are surrounded by success programs. You're surrounded by success energy. And you're being positively influenced by that energy. You are changing yourself when you're in that energy around those people. And if you keep doing this, every single day, every single week, every single month by coming to events and also bringing people with you, there is no telling where you can be. There is absolutely no telling where you can be. And this is why I always say in the morning, you have to put in some sort of, read your goals, do some activity, but then you have to put in some form of mindfulness, some form, let's call it, I call it meditation, you can call it mindfulness, just somewhere where you can sit down for 5-10 minutes, focus on your breath, and repeat the affirmations of what you want in your life. For you, maybe it's I am Get Team, maybe it's I am President's Team, I am a genius, I am love, I am health, I am rich. But you have to, as you're sitting down and focusing on the breath, you have to repeat a mantra that's going to become your reality. Because an idea, because a belief that's manifesting in your life through your action automatically. And that belief is nothing more than an idea or a mantra or an affirmation that you have repeated thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of times. That thought becomes your belief, and then that belief completely influences and manifests on autopilot your actions and then the accompanying results that you deserve, because you are worthy. You are good enough. You just need to go through the process and you need to focus on the why. You need to focus on why you want this. You have to have a burning desire, and then look. I know it's a cliche, but I can go into the details, and this is why I go into details so much. Really, the how and the when are so unimportant that we can remove them from the equation, and you will still be successful. You will be successful beyond your mind if you just focus on the goal and on the end results. And this for me in the morning when I'm thinking now it's 1:34, for you it's 6:34. I don't want to keep it long. The idea of this calls was to give you on a weekly basis, because I know I don't see a lot of you. I don't see because of the obvious reasons, but I want to give value because I feel like I have value to give. I feel like a lot of you may have questions, but maybe you're, shy to ask, or maybe you're thinking, he's so busy, why would he answer to me? And I have to keep repeating it. And I know the repetition is extremely important. I have to repeat myself. I want to give, I want to serve, I want to help. And if any of you have any questions, or you believe that I can even maybe give you some energy at a certain point in time, I'm always here. And this is why I want to have these calls, not 30, 40 minutes, maybe even less sometimes, because I believe that it's all a process in your mind. It's all about your attitude. It's all about your mindset. And by giving, because I'm only 7 years in Herbalife, and I went through a lot of situations, and I became a drastically different and better person than I was only a year ago, let alone 7 years ago. I know exactly what all of you are going through. The specifics are completely different. The circumstances are maybe completely different. But what I went through in my mind, it's more or less the same. Because we as human beings, we are wired pretty much the same. We have a need for security. We have a need for, love. We have a need to be understood, and we really truly want a dream life for ourselves, and we are worthy of it, and we can all achieve it. But it's all about removing the viruses of the mind, and putting in the wealth, putting in the abundance programs. And I believe that, at any point in time, I can help, and I can give, maybe even just by my energy. Maybe it's not even anything that I said. Maybe it's just that you are here, and that, maybe 6,000 miles away, but you heard my energy and you felt my energy on Zoom, and then maybe just made your day better. And if you have any questions, I'm going to open it up. If you have any questions at this moment, or anyone, and maybe anyone wants to share anything, because this is also the purpose, feel free to ask, or feel free to share, because, your day is just starting. My day is halfway beginning. Yes. Everyone's still sleepy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for the call, buddy. Definitely good to get that inspiration in the morning,
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to the calls, and hey, I don't mind if you go like an hour, because it's also helping me while I'm on this Stairmaster. So I'm definitely listening and absorbing everything in, and just reflecting on the goal that I want to accomplish, and the goal that for the team. So it's good to get up in the morning and have like calls like this, because it sets you off in the right path.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of out of breath right now, but it was just, I just want to let you know it's a very very valuable call. So thank you.
You are running towards your goals. This is why you can't breathe. Oh man, I recorded this call, so I'm gonna put it in the group if anyone else wants to listen to it. And I'm gonna give you at least once per week. I'm gonna be holding this call, so I'm gonna put in the group when it's going to be happening. For the future, it's going to be it's not going to be such short notice, so everyone's going to know if they want to jump on board. But yeah, this is one of my declarations, one of my goals. I want to give more to you guys, and I do not want that program of excuse of thinking they don't need me, or they're 6,000 miles away, 7 hours time difference. They don't need me, plus it's a 7-hour difference. So I always kind of go, next time. I'm not going to allow the program to run anymore, and I'm going to focus on the program I want to give, and I'm going to give no matter the time, no matter the distance, and no matter where you are. I can still give you value, and I'm intending to give you value on whoever wants to receive it. All right, wishing you this is going to be the best day ever. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to see your results, and to see your daily journeys on our groups in Telegram for the coaches. So see you soon. Talk to you soon.